Hey everybody, this is Brent in Central Arkansas. I'm just going to do one last video on a comparison trial of Better Boy versus my cultivar called Superbear. And I think on the last video I did, I mentioned that because Superbear is the F2, the second generation, the gene expression is going to be all over the place. So I mentioned that I'm looking for one specific plant. I don't have any in mind. I'm just looking for it to show all the qualities I want, and I think I found that. Before we go there, this is Better Boy, and Better Boy is a hybrid, and let's see here, and it does fairly well against whatever disease that I'm growing up against. You can see there's some tomato fruit set that's began after the cooler weather started coming on here. And so the Better Boy is a good tomato, that's for sure, but you can see it's also plagued with some of the disease that I'm getting on the other tomatoes. So you go up here and you can see some fruit set there because of the cooler weather and the high winds and stuff like that. So it's getting pollinated, and that's good. Now let me take you to my other plant. So these three rows, here, and over here, they're got plants that are growing, and some of them are growing through the disease. Now Superbear was bred for disease resistance. I mean, that was the intention of the breeding. And so I'm selecting for disease resistance in the second generation. And I am seeing some disease resistance similar to the Better Boy I just showed you in all three rows. Some of them are crap, like this one here, and other ones that I've removed before. Now I quit watering probably 3 or 4 days ago because we're about to go on vacation in a couple weeks, and I'm in the process of shutting this down. I have saved and collected seed from every one of all my breeding tomatoes that I want and to carry to the next generation that have the qualities I'm looking for. But in particular, there is one plant that has met all the disease requirement that I'm looking for. It looks phenomenal. It is setting fruit like crazy. It's always set fruit like crazy. I believe it's parthenocarpic, and I think that once I put it in the winter grow room and grow the seed again, I will check for sure by emasculating. And this is the plant, this one right here. It branches off. I let it branch off here. If you look at it growing up, there is no stem disease, I guess you will, like there is next to it here. That's going on, that's stem disease. And right next to it here, even touching in some areas up here, is disease. But this particular plant is 3-23, and it has, I don't even see any disease on it. It might have a little bit, but it is growing fantastic. It's grown fantastic for a while. And I want you to look here at this fruit set here. Is absolutely phenomenal. The majority of them are setting fruit, if not every single one at this point, and it grew and set fruit all season long. During the hottest months, the fruit was a little smaller, but these are a big beefsteak. They got a beefsteak look to them. It's not quite as oval or round as I would like, but this is the one, and it's the only one that meets all the criteria I'm looking for. So what I've got to do now is collect the seed, which I've already done on all the ones I want to keep, and grow it again and checked and validate that it is parthenocarpic. So I've taken off many growing tips, including suckers here that are about the same length, and I got them in plain water right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to root them in a pot, and but before I do that, I need to make sure that there's no disease on the plant itself, these growing tips here that I'm trying to save. While they're not expressing it, I know dang well that they potentially could. So to be able to check it later, if I'm going to use these, I haven't made up my mind, I took them in case I do, then what I need to do is treat them. And so I'm going to dunk them in some liquid copper, then put them in water, let them go for a few days, then dunk them again, and just essentially just try to eradicate any potential disease that's on it. Usually growing tips, and the disease that I'm seeing, it doesn't occur in the growing tips, it occurs on the older leaves. So this has got a good head start, so maybe I can get rid of them. If not, I've got the seed for 323 already. Last thing here, I'm not going to do a special video on this. I'll throw this in there because these are about to be gone. I've got two smallish cherry tomatoes that are phenomenal. They're absolutely wonderful, and they make like crazy. It's absolutely amazing. This is one, and it is obviously an orange cherry, and they are so good. One of the parents is Superbear. This was a double hybrid cross. So one of the parents was Superbear and some other disease resistant varieties. So this is one of them. It's an orange smaller cherry, and like it, I've got the other one here, which is a red smaller cherry, and they happen to be in the same pot, which is really weird. This cherry tomato is phenomenal. Both of them are, but the red one really is extremely productive, and neither one of them crack. So they sit on the vine forever. So if you just go up and look at some of these, I've collected these over and over and over, and they're just crazy good. So that is a plus. They're a little smaller than I'd like them to be, but hey, if I can get an ultra productive two cherries like this of orange and red, I'm extremely happy because they taste so good. So anyway, I thought I'd share that last bit with you, and this will be the last video for the main no-weed garden here. I'll just give you a quick look. You can see that some of the melons are still trying to grow. I've got some powdery mildew on them, which is expected, especially after such a long season. They're still trying to pump out the cantaloupe, so cantaloupe cream melons. I've got some Madison's Cross down here. Now remember, I said that I turned off the water a couple 3 days ago, so they're starting to take a hit, if you will. I am seeing a little bit of powdery mildew, but more or less these Madison crosses are, I need to take that squash down there. It's mature enough to take, and I definitely want to get another batch because it's a wonderful squash. But anyway, the majority, I got a 3 colors pepper that that's not from this particular garden. It's from the shed no-weed garden over there by the shed, and I was really pleased with that. So I got a royal purple. I got seed for that, a lot of seed for that, and it's now very consistent year after year and plant to plant. So I'm very happy about that. I'm trying to think. I got several of my seedless varieties that are next generation, so it was just a matter of growing them out and saving the seed. And then I've got many hybrids to grow between my seedless flagship tomato called Brandy Bear that I crossed with several like Purple Dog Creek and Cherokee Purple and Plan 9 from Outer Space, which is a striped version, and just several of those that are going to be really fun. Fortunia, which is a heart-shaped paste. I got a video that eventually I'll show, and it's very meaty. It's going to be a promising good paste tomato for me. So that's it for the season on the no-weed garden here, at least. Maybe for the shed no-weed garden over there. I might do another video on that. I'm not sure yet, but like I said, I've only got a short amount of time before we head on vacation. This is Brent, everybody. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next video.
How long do we gotta stay here for people we don't know in one lines? All of the clothes are designer, fast cars, and who knows who. Yeah, I know what they wanna say.